Hey everybody, this is Lice Harger, and thanks for listening to the Fuller House Podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. Whatever happened to predictability?
The Fuller House Podcast with Erica and Kyle.
Hello, Tannerverse. Well, we've got a bit of a special episode here. This is part one of a very long conversation Erica had with Juan Pablo Di Pace. Am I saying that right?
I wouldn't say it was very long. I'd say it was like a very nice sit down with a cup of tea with another human being.
Yeah, with
very long sounds like but this was good talking.
Except instead of a cup of tea between you, you had a Skype headset.
I had a microphone and headset. Yeah. But I seriously felt like I was sitting down with a friend. Like after a while, it was like, oh yeah, this is an interview, isn't it?
Yes. So we did break this up into two episodes. Part one is it's more about Juan Pablo and his background and how he came to even be on Fuller House. And part two, which will be posted in a couple days, is a lot more about Fuller House itself. And I know you asked him a bit about season 2. Did you get much out of him?
Well, you're gonna hear some stuff. I'm just going to tell you that you're going to hear some interesting things.
Okay, well that sounds like a nice little tease.
Yeah,
for people to come back in a couple days.
I can't say exactly what it is, but you'll hear some cool. It's not going to let you down, okay?
Oh, and thank you so much, Elias, for recording that sweet new intro for us.
Yeah,
it makes us sound so official and cute.
Aw, we are very cute. I mean. He's very cute. Very cute.
Well, let's get out of here so you can sit back and listen to Juan Pablo Di Pace, part 1.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you so much for being here, Juan Pablo.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. That's so nice.
How long do you have to talk?
I mean, I don't have to rush, so.
Okay.
So yeah, we have time.
You can talk about you all night.
Well,
your favorite subject?
Can you've talked to actors before, so that's a very easy thing for them.
Yes, definitely. How often do people mess up your last name? Di Pace? Do they call you Di Pace?
Well, I think they messed up.
I bet that happens in America
5 times a day.
Is that all?
Oh yeah. Like it's not only the last name, but it's also the first name. Sometimes. When I introduce myself, they go, "What?" So
they're not used to the two name thing.
What? So I go, "Okay, it's just JP. You can call me JP."
Is that your nickname, JP?
I mean, for those who are lazy, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if I'm feeling lazy, I'll refer to you as JP in the interview then. So we met at the premiere,
we did.
And you're really nice. You're very approachable.
Oh, stop.
It's kind of rare. You don't come off as like, well, first of all, you don't come off like Fernando, which may or may not be a good thing.
Right. Yeah, Fernando and I are a little different.
Yes, you're not too crazy. But you're also very interesting. You tell us a little bit about you. You're born in Argentina, but you've lived in Italy, London, Spain, and now the U.S. So
yeah, right. I was born in Argentina to an Italian father and a half Italian Spanish mom, and we, as a family, we always kind of were connected to Europe and this idea of not living in Argentina. So when I was old enough, I pretty much packed my bags and I said to my folks, I really, really want to experience living abroad, and it just so happened that I was crafty enough to get myself a scholarship to finish high school in Italy, almost like. Wow. Behind their backs. I heard about the scholarship and I applied, and then I got it. I was selected, and I came home and I said, "Hey, I did get the scholarship. You don't have to pay a penny. So can I just finish high school in Italy, please?" So that's how it all started, really. This kind of moving around the world, and but then they kind of followed. I mean, my family started moving away from Argentina at different points. So today, most of my family, apart from me, actually live either in Spain, Italy, or England, and it just so happens that I jumped continent again 3 years ago when I came to the States.
Okay, so you've been here for 3 years.
Yes, almost.
Do you like it?
I
Is
do.
Is it totally different?
Yeah, I do. I love it. I mean, I've been in LA for 2.5. I did spend 6 months in Dallas, filming the show Dallas, and that was an experience in itself because that to me was very exotic. You know, like in Argentina or even in Spain or Italy, you grow up watching these movies with cowboys and like that's the idea of America that some of us have. So to go to a place where you actually do see cowboys and Texans and boots and things like that was, for me, that was very exotic.
I feel like you have an English accent and like a Argentinian accent as well. I'm just listening to your voice here thinking, which is it? What am I
tell
hearing
me,
here?
I have no idea. It's
Do people tell you that?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I call it, I speak ocean because I'm right in the middle. Like, it's not English, it's not American, it's not Spanish or Italian. It's just in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, well, that works well in LA, I guess. You can kind of play anyone.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so you played Jesus in the Bible miniseries, which is a huge role. Billionaire businessman in Dallas. You had a role in Mamma Mia. You've done Grease. And then now Fernando in Fuller House. So I just need to know, how do you go from Jesus to Fernando?
Very, very,
very carefully.
Cool. I don't know. I just, yeah. First of all, very cool agent. I have an agent and a manager who think outside the box, and so that was just a genius piece of sort of casting from them as well. Also, the casting directors from Warner Brothers, and also the ladies who cast the show Fuller House. I think they were sort of free enough to say, hey, we've got this role and we'd like to see Juan Pablo for it. We've only seen him do dramatic roles, but a lot of the times we do think that dramatic actors can do comedy. So really, it was all of those people, championing and trying something different that got me the audition, and yeah, it was a fantastic kind of turn of events because it would not have been something that I that I was sort of calculating in my career. I mean, sitcom always scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I was wondering that. This is your first sitcom.
Yes, first sitcom.
Okay.
I mean, I've done comedies before in the UK a lot and Spain, but the audience, the live audience, the pressure of the sitcom, the jokes, the whatever it is, 5-second rule where you have to make people laugh after 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Is that the rule?
Yeah. I think sitcom has a rule.
I was in the audience for one of the Fuller House tapings that you were in, and we had to laugh after. I mean, we were told to laugh immediately. Right. So I didn't know it was 5 seconds, but we were laughing effortlessly anyway at you because you were so much fun to watch.
Oh. Well, thank you. I mean, I think this show, people don't realize how hard it is to make other people laugh in terms of, because everything has so many things have to make sense. Of course the show has to be funny, but the talent has to be funny, the writing has to be funny, the direction has to be funny. There's so many elements, and sometimes when one of those wavers, it's not funny.
Right.
So in our case, we're so lucky that all the departments are so sharp, And I think my sister's never watched Fuller House before. My sister, who came from Spain to visit me, and she watched episode 3, the dancing episode. So she came from Spain with her husband, watched this show that she'd never heard of Full House. And I was like, oh my God, you have to sit for 5 hours. I hope you don't get bored. And then at the end of it, she said, "This was the funniest evening of my life.
Aw.
We had such a blast. I didn't know the characters, but I fell in love with them. I fell in love with the storylines. The jokes were funny."
Yeah.
So that says a lot as well about this new incarnation of the show, that you don't actually need to be a Full House fan to enjoy it.
Right, that's true. I was actually in the audience when you did the slap with the glove on John Brotherton, who plays Matt.
Yeah.
And that it was actually such a loud slap. I've always wanted to ask, do you think you kind of hurt him? Because I felt like that must have like been a whipping feeling on his face, but
Yeah.
or was there a sound effect?
I think no, it was not a sound effect. I think the plastic, the rubber against his face was the loudness of it. I mean, that for me has to be probably my favorite scene of the whole season. Like you were at my favorite moment because it was just so unexpected as well. What happened out of this slap. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but actually the laughter was about a minute long. We had to stop in position for such a long time, and no, I mean, John said to me, "Just go for it, just do it, slap me hard, because we have to make this really, really fun." And I was like, "Are you sure?" Yes. So he was a real trooper I mean, it was actually thanks to him that slap was so loud.
It was so loud. And did you shoot it twice or once?
No, we shot it twice.
You shot it twice. That's what I remember.
We did it over and over again.
Oh, so you slapped him a lot of times like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just remember being stunned, and I think there was kind of a second where the audience was like, "Was that? Should he have done that?" Like, that was actually really hard, unless that was a sound effect. But yes, that great scene.
I think it sounded worse than it was. I think it sounded worse. Yeah.
I hope so. For his sake. Okay, so kind of off topic, I read before that you before you wanted to be an actor, you were a painter, like a serious painter. That's what you wanted to do. Do you still paint?
I don't. I mean, I will at some point. It's one of those things that never leaves you. Once in a while, I'll grab a pen and paper and I'll, do doodles. But yeah, they're very, very strange. I was one of those children that are born literally knowing what they want to do for life. Like, I knew exactly what I want. Like, I don't even remember, like, starting to draw. I just drew out of my mother's womb. So, in fact, I was one of those loner kids that had no friends because I was always drawing.
Oh, great. You're one of these, like, this is like what John Stamos says, like, I was a total dork, and then I blossomed into this good-looking actor man later. Why does this story happen so much? Okay, so you're a loner and you drew.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And so I was convinced that I wanted to work for Disney. I wanted to be an animator, especially in the days where animations were actually made from pencil and paper. You know? Then CGI came along, and I wasn't so crazy about that. But yeah, I was so convinced, and I even got in touch with Disney when I was 12, and they really liked my stuff, and they're like, "Well, we'd be willing to like have you in Glendale in our studios and stuff." So I was all set to become this. And
you're in Argentina at this point?
And I was in Argentina.
And they're like, "You can come to Glendale," and you're like, "What's that?" It
was one of those weird things. My mom met someone on a train who was the friend of someone who had animated Beauty and the Beast, and we kind of started like, sort of became pen friends, and then I showed him my drawings, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'll show them to my bosses," and then the bosses were like, "Wow, I think you should come over here." But obviously I was 12, and my parents were like, "No, not yet. This is no." So,
too young for that.
So anyway, nothing. It was one of those things where I knew almost my path was decided for me, because also my mom's a painter. So my mom, Marta Maineri, she's called. She's got incredible paintings in churches and
religious paintings,
religious paintings all over Italy. And she's actually become quite well known over there. She's got something in the Vatican and beautiful stuff. And
that's amazing.
So I grew up with that, and I thought that was going to be my path. But something happened when I was 17. I was in that scholarship place that I told you when I went to Italy. And it was a really weird school where you literally could decide whatever you wanted to do. So, for example, it was kind of like it's called the United World College, and basically there's 10 of them in the world, and they grab
Wow.
200 students from 200 countries, and they put you together for 2 years, and so you share this amazing experience in a remote place with people from completely different countries and backgrounds, and you just learn from each other, and so you kind of choose all the activities that you want. So theater was missing from this place, and I had the idea. I went to the the director of the school, and I said, "Hey, what about we put on a play or a musical or something?" And he said, "Okay, fine. If you organize it, we'll do it." And so I came up with the idea of doing Grease. Don't ask me why, but of all the things that I could have done, I said, I want to do Grease. So I put together this thing, and then, all the students did Grease, the musical, and I played Danny Zuko. And the first day when I stepped on stage and I was Danny Zuko, everything else disappeared. It was almost like this lightning bulb going off my head going, oh, this is what you should be doing with your life, because this is amazing. It was like a drug,
Yeah.
So that's the day that I literally just abandoned the idea of being a Disney animator. I was like, nope, I want to go to London. I want to be the best actor that I can be. I want to go and learn about this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you're talking about old Disney, I'm thinking about, I don't usually bring myself into this, but I have to share this with you. When I was a kid, my uncle was a Disney animator with the pencil artist,
Yeah.
So we would be at dinner or something and I'd say, draw me the Little Mermaid. And he'd get so sick of it because, we always wanted these pictures, but they were really like, he had really done this. Like he did this at work all day. So he was exhausted,
Wow.
but we're like, draw us a Little Mermaid. And he would do it exactly, of course.
Right.
Like that. So yeah, that brings me back. Okay, so I've got to ask. We're just gonna pretend that you paint a lot.
Yeah.
And this question's for the female listeners. When you paint, is it shirt on, shirt off?
Oh well, when I paint, I have my what do I have? I have my grandpa slippers and my cup of tea.
Oh no, this isn't sexy.
And my socks on, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you painted us an interesting picture, not the one we were looking for, but that's okay. You know what's funny is my next question was about you being a grandpa. Mm-hmm. I read that you call yourself a grandpa. That's true?
It is true. I don't know. I just like being comfy. I love being comfy. I mean, I like tea, so I drink tea all day, and I only go out if I have to, and like noise really bothers me, so I have quite a sensitivity with loud places. So I'm quite not grumpy, but I live like a sort of an indoor life. Even though I love being outside, I love going hiking and stuff. But that's why I say grandpa, because I'm not a very outgoing person.
You're not out and partying. Are you shy? Do you consider yourself
totally shy? Oh yeah. I'm very shy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny because nobody would ever think of Fernando, this guy you play, as shy. But can you explain that? How actors can still be shy and just play the most outrageous role ever? Because I love that about actors.
It's a mystery, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think because I was shy, I was into drawing, because I didn't really like interacting with people, kids my age. So I found something that was more comfortable for me, which is a pen and pencil. And then when I was a teenager and this whole acting thing happened, I remember thinking some strange reason, on stage I was very comfortable, but off stage I wasn't, with people. So it's a very strange phenomenon. I mean, one of the most famous people in the world, Michael Jackson, was famously super shy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's like a logic for it. Maybe it's to do with like the comfort of knowing that you're actually working rather than socializing with people. Or maybe knowing that there's something that you are good at, so you know that you're good at that, but that has nothing to do with being an extrovert. It just has to do with you being in a situation where you feel like you can be yourself, even though you're not, because you're playing another character. So I don't know. It's a good psychologist question, actually.
It is. I know. I always wonder that, because you hear that time and time again that actors are just shy, or even reporters, and Okay, I have some Fernando questions for you. I know people are dying for me to really get to the heart of Fernando.
And cut. Well, you weren't joking. Juan Pablo is definitely one interesting individual.
Yeah, why'd you just cut? I wanted to hear the rest.
Oh, well, that's we got to leave something for people to listen to later on in the week.
All right, I'll give you that.
Okay. Well, truth be told.
Did you love it?
I want to meet this guy and hang out with him.
You have met him, but you haven't hung out with him.
This is true. I want to go grab a beer with him. How about that?
I think he said he prefers tea, but yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he'll make an exception for you.
Okay, well, let's get out of here and keep an eye on your podcast feed. In a couple days, we'll be dropping the second half of this interview. And that's where we get into the good. Well, you did all the work.
Actually, you had some good questions yourself, Kyle.
I did have you sneak in a few questions, including one about Doctor Who.
Yep.
But that's all in part 2, which you'll find in your podcast feed in a couple days.
Woohoo! Like Christmas morning with Fernando.
Yes. And by the way, if you guys like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher. We talk about Fuller House each and every week, and even a little Dancing with the Stars thrown in.
Because Jodie's on it.
Yes. In case you're listening to this in the future.
Yeah.
And, of course, we always appreciate your 5-star reviews on iTunes.
Yeah, it's been way too long since we've had one of those, so come on, guys.
And until later this week, you guys have yourselves a great day.
Please do. Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fuller House Podcast with Erica and Kyle. Find us and like us on Facebook at the Fuller House Podcast, on Twitter at Fuller House Cast, or on Instagram at Fuller House Podcast, or shoot us an email at fullerhousepodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you found this show. And feel free to leave us a 5-star review. See you next week.